Now, that's something we have to. Hell of a Boss, episode 8 of season 1. It was pretty good. It's just that it's the craziest transition if you think about it, because we've been waiting over a year for this video to come out. But it's like a crazy transition, and I'll explain in a second. Let me just get situated here. It's a crazy transition for one particular reason, because in the Aussies we see that Stolas back at Blitzo. Stolas into his house, and we see Blitzo curl up at his ball, crying his body out, and we always thought, that Blitzo. We always thought Blitz would actually do something crazy. I mean, I thought when we see episode 8 that Blitz would still be in his crying position, hunching his phone, still in a crying position. But nope, they started the episode off with Luna, taking Luna to a party and all that good stuff. Like that, but, I mean, I cannot believe Blitzo. Blitz is just like Roger from American Dad. He could take it all, and no problem. And, boy, that episode was good, because Blitz took two kegs, a keg of beer, and a keg of honey. We'll call it also a keg of honey with no problems. Then he started doing, we're going to say, gay stuff. And then Luna took care of the crap and punches everyone out. But, so yeah. Then they get home. Blitz had a, you know how you usually get a crash after you have your alcohol and stuff, you have the crash. Well, then when Luna and Blitz got home, Blitz had the crash he had, was a continuation of the crash he had earlier. Because we know in episode 7, the end of episode 7, he had a crash where he was all sad and stuff. When they got home from the party, Blitz was exactly the same again. He actually had a crash. Had a crash as well. And the thing is, though, Luna acts like me when I don't feel like I should be here. I actually know how Luna feels. I've actually had a few times I feel like too. Feel like I don't belong here, don't need to be here. I stay for a little bit and leave immediately. But I usually just leave all the better. This version was different, though. This version is Luna stayed for a little bit after a song and left. Called Dad to pick her up. Dad picked her up. Then people recognized who they were and thought, so they stayed for a little bit longer. But yeah, that was a good show. If you haven't seen Hell of a Boss yet, you need to see it, because the episode was good. Also, the ending was good, too. Also, the ending was pretty fucking funny. But the thing was, though, surprising, was that Luna can drive. Luna actually knows how to drive a car. Which I didn't know Luna knew how to drive. I thought Luna never learned. But yeah, Luna can drive pretty well. So it was just mostly hellhounds, imps. Tex was there, Vortex, and there were some other people there too. I mean, I could not believe it. I had to read I read the critics twice to make sure what I was reading was true. I could not believe that they actually had Kesha, the singer, there. Which, I'm not a big fan of Kesha's songs, okay? But I was surprised that she even got Kesha to be there. I mean, I had to look up Kesha because I don't know who Kesha is. I listened to a couple of her songs. I don't like them. But I was surprised, though. Someone that does music professionally agreed to be on Hell of a Boss. I mean, that's like wow. And a character from the and I was looking at the comics again, looking at the credits. Vivian and another person did most of the background voices, and I thought, wow, boy, she has her work turned out. Vivian Madrado, the director, a creator, and one of the writers of the show, had to do voicing. Well, technically, she's been doing voicing since since episode 1 of Hell of a Boss. In episode 1, she was Brooke, the cashier. But I'm not kidding. Vivian Madrano, she's not that old. She's actually 2 years older than me, which is not that bad because Paruku Itagate is a year older than me, but still, a lot of these people who do videos around my age are usually a year older than me or a lot younger than me, but still. Some of these people I wish I could meet, though, and I actually was sitting thinking about maybe working on my own book, working on one of my old books, or if I have to start working on something else. But, yeah, Hell of a Boss was pretty good. Next thing I have to do now is find Full Metal Alchemist and see how that goes. But yeah, Hell of a Boss was pretty good. Especially the ending before the credits. Luna said something, and Blitzo turned into being I don't know how I would classify it, but Blitz became Luna said, you're gonna blank, and he said, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. When Luna went to her room to go to bed, Blitz did do what she said she was gonna do. And it was not what I thought color would be. And I'm wondering how much he drank over 5 gallons of mystery stuff. So it makes perfectly good sense. But this episode is surprising though because they had Blitz had the crash like he did in episode 7. He had another crash in episode 8, but Luna, doing what Luna does, actually tucked him in, which is a good daughter. And episode 8 is Luna thought, wow, my dad is being crazy and actually doing something fun for once and stuff. But yeah, Luna actually called Blitz dad a few times. You never hear that. Never. But still, that was a good show. So yeah, that was a pretty good episode. The thing is, though, I kind of know how Luna felt when she was there. She didn't believe there and stuff. And Vortex kind of helped her out, which, what Vortex said. And we get to meet Vortex's girlfriend, and boy, wasn't Vortex not lying. He said in episode 3, Spring Broken, that my girlfriend does tons of Halloween parties. Next time she does one, I'll give you a ring, And he did. So it took a year, a couple months before it happened. But still, it looked like Luna didn't like it. But it looks like Luna actually went to another party one time before, where she got real sick because this poodle was acting like acting like a bitch. Showed a picture of her throwing up, and he, sounded like a rich snob ass bitch poodle, and Luna, blew up. But Luna was she was acting like she did in episode, in episode 4 of Hell of a Boss, season 2, episode 4 of Hell of a Boss. She was acting a little bit like that in episode 8. It's just that I can't believe it. So far, technically, Luna had. So technically, this year, Luna had 2 episodes, mostly focused on her. So Luna had 2 episodes in season 1, only focused on her. Okay, if we classified episode 4 of season 2, so technically Luna had 2.5 episodes focused on her. You got episode 3, season 1, episode 8, season 1, and then you got season 2, episode 4 of Hell of a Boss, technically focused on Luna. Okay, we got 2 videos focused on Octavia, and which is real funny because it was episode 2, it was season 1, episode 2, and episode 2, season 2. So they did pretty good doing the kids. I know. Luna's 22, Octavia is 17, but technically they're kids. In the Hell of a Boss world, they're technically kids. And Luna and Octavia are the youngest members of the cast that we see a lot of. So yeah, they're the youngest members that we see. They're technically the kids, and they so technically each of them had 2 episodes each, mostly based on them. You gotta think of it. They technically had 2 episodes mostly based on them, which is kind of surprising because you gotta think here though. So that's not bad though. But yeah. The big question I'm wondering, though, is when we see Blitz's sister, Barbie Wire, who's doing the voice of Barbie Wire is my question. Yeah, well, that's the only thing I'm really curious about, because thing is, though, I don't have Twitter, I don't use Facebook that much, so I would not know. So we'll see what happens. So, yep. So, yep, episode 8 of Hello Boss was pretty good. Episode 8 was pretty good, and I found out there's a song called, actually, there's yesterday's video, Die Young from Kesha. She made a parody called Cotton Candy, which is pretty good. But yeah, guys, that's all I wanted to say.